So welcome to the Laura and Benny Show.
Oh,
welcome.
Lovely to be here. Actually, any excuse to come down to Cork. I actually love Cork.
Okay.
Love Cork.
But just to let everyone know, this is Dara.
This is Dara.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm Dara.
From Black Tie Wedding Band.
Yeah.
Who just drove from an area that isn't somewhere apparently.
It's a little bit of meat
Yeah.
in between Dublin and Louth.
He's not disclosing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your address is like, I'm not too sure where to send the package
No,
to.
I mean, a lot of people move, like,
Yeah.
places like, well, I'm in Stamullen, but there's Bettystown. A little bit of coast there, and a lot of new houses got built up there during the Tiger economy.
This conversation could really go
Yeah.
anywhere, right? So,
Okay.
and we're willing to let it go
Bring it
anywhere. In fact, it took Laura about 6 minutes now to get it in there to introduce it, because we were talking about all sorts, from funerals to economics to everything, to mercury in the water.
Yeah, professional funeral goers. That's
why you have your own
But if people don't know, just so if they get a bit of wedding information, we better do it at the start, because we could go anywhere today.
Okay.
But like, your band is full of energy, fun, party. If people take anything away from this podcast, is like, if you want to be allowed to let loose and the permission to let loose, you tee people up, don't you?
Well, Benny, I'm delighted you said that, because obviously I can't say that. Because
that's your sales gimmick.
Self-praise is no praise. But the fact that you say it, I'm delighted. Obviously, you see a lot of bands, and you've just said that our band is just, does that. So
I thought he was going to go to say our band is the best.
Well, we won an award there, but I wasn't. I was going to bring the
but
award.
But now you're self-praising yourself. I was going to bring that in, but you had to award. You're an award dropper, as I call them. They're award droppers in the industry.
Now, to be fair, there is a lot of awards out there.
Is it in the van?
There is.
Did you bring it?
I could Photoshop it in and just place it
It's
there,
solid gold.
Right. Is your face on it?
It's made by the Sumerian civilization. It's that old, and it's solid gold, and it's like they only give it once every 100 years.
Right. Okay. But credit where credit's due, though. You did win Wedding Band of the Year with the Wedding Suppliers Awards this year.
Brilliant.
So we have, royalty with us, who has driven from all the way up the country, sitting across from us, award-winning, the best of 2024.
And I never entered it before, and I have been running the band for 21 years, and I never entered it really.
Well, you have to give other people a chance. You couldn't just be doing it every year, because
be very unfair. We did that too. We won, and then we didn't enter again.
I'm not going to enter again.
Not going to enter again. It's not fair on everyone else.
Yeah, I generally find awards a little bit tacky. But the others in the band pushed me to do it, and we did it once, and we won, and it's over now.
When you say the others, do you mean Ryan?
I mean Ryan and Darren and the younger ones in the band. They were like, enter it.
But it's great to get the acknowledgement. I mean, every good bands don't win those awards as well. Like it's hard to recognise every year every band.
Exactly.
But it's great to get that recognition, isn't it?
You hit the nail on the head, and that's why I didn't generally enter them before, because I've seen bands who've won them, and I kind of thought, and like a lot of good
it's
bands.
Worse than the Oscar wins.
Yeah, a lot of good bands don't win them; they don't enter them or whatever. So, but as you say, I've been running the band for 21 years, so I'm delighted I did it once, and
And you got the nod.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, no, the dog does join in.
Can you see the dog here?
He does join in.
Banshee gets in on every episode.
So who keeps the award though? Is it on your mantelpiece? Is it like a share that you've got a calendar and each of you gets?
It's a bit like the Sam Maguire, isn't it? It comes around every local GA club.
Yeah.
Like it stays in the local GA clubs around the county.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to the cinema there recently, and I brought it with me, and I bought its own seat, and then I got a Ryanair flight, and I bought an extra seat, and I sat the award on the seat.
And is it coming with you to Spain tomorrow?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Good. Now, do you bring it to all the restaurants and make sure they give you free food, because you're award winning?
Yeah.
Like, forget Cillian Murphy.
Actually,
because
I'm in Cork now, and Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, there's 2 award winners in Cork originally. This is a lot, in 1 year.
You see yourself running down the beach.
I'm really proud to be Irish as well. That's why award is kind of
right.
You're pushing it now.
What colour would that be now?
It's greenish.
It's a greenish colour, and it's the day after St. Patrick's Day. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and I wore a really green jumper.
Right.
And this is like a genuflection to a slightly lighter. A slightly lighter Paddy's Day the day after.
I feel like last week I blew it. I blew it too early, because I mean, your get up for the band is pretty colourful, and I brought out the big hat last week for the party bands fella. Brought out the big hat and the colourful shirt, and I feel like I really should have done it today. You know, because I mean,
Get down.
Well, actually,
you've just got to go with it. I mean, Banshee's just there, so you've just got to keep talking.
Yeah.
It's multitasking. It's like fixing the text up.
Petting dogs is easy.
Telling the
You're
lads
actually
to
like
sing,
the Irish
playing the
flag there now.
keys.
Look, we've got green, white, and gold.
green, white, and gold.
But the colourful jackets and everything that you wear, it's part of the fun and the party. You're setting that tone of.
I'm not going to say I learned it here, but I did see this podcast a couple of times, and I did see the shirts that you wore, Benny. And over the years, I'd bought shirts like that. My wife said that I wasn't allowed to wear them. I'd say, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
And she'd say, that's not going to happen.
I'd like to point something out here. So Dara's wife said,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to wear them.
Right.
And what did Dara do? He didn't wear
took
it.
it off.
So when I say you're not
Whenever
allowed
she
to
went-
wear
You're screaming
it,
on camera. You're not wearing it. You're not wearing it. What do you mean?
I
we've
wore them other
started
times when
already?
she wasn't around. If I ever went abroad, she wasn't around, I'd be wearing them every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on that subject of clothes though, because I remember when we met you first, and I've
Okay.
seen some band get-ups, and I've seen the glitzy jackets, and I've seen the white jackets, and we saw gold jackets the other night.
Yes.
But your jackets, like you'd never forget them, because I remember I saw you getting into them, and I was like literally to Benny going, "Is that Pac-Man? Is that Pac-Man?"
And it is Pac-Man, because I just thought it was just polka dots. I just thought you liked lots of colours.
It is yeah, what happened was is during lockdown, you know, I had a lot of time to think.
And that's where it went.
I mean, I could have went mad, but happily I hung in there, like I was reading books on how to keep yourself together and all sorts. And, you know, I Googled loud suits, because I knew I didn't want to, I wanted people to remember, but then I didn't want to have to get into a costume.
Yeah.
'Cause that's time consuming, and you know, when
Right.
you're
Yes.
like, yeah, like,
Yeah,
you know,
but-
no,
but
like
what's
say,
you thinking?
you know, like say, like
Yeah.
say like Smash Hits or Spring Break or
Right,
you know,
okay,
yes.
yeah.
and you know that's the kind of thing is that the band are wearing costumes and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want that amount of effort because I knew, like, say in the summer, you know, we're on the
I'd
road
like to see in them
relentlessly.
tight sailor shorts now. I reckon that would be an interesting.
Well, that is an extra. That is an extra, and I'm not in the band on that particular evening, because then it would be a minus. But for the others, yes, you can pay extra.
But the shorts, when you went searching for something that, how could you make it work?
Yeah, so I Googled it and the Pac-Man suits came up, and like yourself, Benny, I like loud clothes.
Yes.
Even though they don't suit us, I still like wearing them anyway.
It's not about it suiting you. It's about it's a statement.
Okay.
It's a statement.
Yeah, I like the loud statements because when I was younger, I was like 70s funk music.
Okay.
So back then they used to wear the loud gear, so I've always kind of
yeah.
liked it for that reason. But anyway, Google the suits. Some amazing suits came up. Ones that were very loud.
Yes.
Like there was and some quite dark ones. Like there was
She's giving you a high five there.
there was
Should we go away?
a suit that was the Joker.
Right.
Oh,
And I thought, great, but I thought, like, not at a
Yeah.
wedding.
Yeah.
And then there was my favourite one, because I'm a bit older, was when the BBC used to finish at around 12 o'clock in the 1980s, there used to be a girl with a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could get that as a suit. Again,
Stop
too
it.
much. So I felt the Pac-Man was a nice middle ground
Okay.
of, you know, something.
Yeah, so but the dark and then the bright colours in
Yeah.
it works. The dark kind of allows, because then you fit into the setting. Because if you were all bright,
Yeah.
and then in the setting of lights and everything like that,
Yeah.
it kind of actually works.
And for the first half a year, we were wearing the trousers. The suits are made in China, so they're not like the best suits in the world. So the trousers didn't last that long. You couldn't buy them separately, so you were buying the whole thing again.
You
So
wore
we
through
went
the
with
trousers,
just
okay.
the jackets, and we kind of felt, yeah, that's a little bit. It's not elegant by any means, but it was a little bit more elegant. So we went just in the jackets now and the pair of jeans, and I think it works.
Brilliant.
But I know it's a great look, because it's like there's lots of people doing different things, but nobody has Pac-Man jackets.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah. It is black tie.
It is.
It is black
Yeah.
tie.
Pe-
It is
people
black
know
tie.
you
And what's
and
great
remember,
about it
yeah,
actually is more important than anything, is that when we go to a hotel, people know, oh, it's those lads.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
they might like us or not like us, but at least they know it's them.
I
Yeah.
also like the way the name of the band is Black Tie.
Yeah.
You'd almost expect you to show up in black tie.
Yeah.
And then the lads rocking in Pac-Man jackets. It's brilliant. And at least you didn't make poor Doreen May wear like Pac-Man dresses or something though.
I was gonna, but yeah. No, kinda.
Leave her do her
Yeah, I
own
think
thing.
the four lads are
Yeah.
in the jackets.
And then
And again, that's probably a good thing to bring up as well. You have a female vocalist, so you've got a variety of vocalists.
Yeah,
'Cause
with
some
female,
bands,
we started out like for, I can't remember how many years, but we had a male vocalist like most wedding bands.
Yeah.
The majority would be male vocalists.
yeah, indeed.
And then my wife said, actually, why don't you get a female vocalist as well?
He listens to his wife a lot. This is
Yeah,
great.
this is going to come across
Yeah.
really bad. But, not to married couples. They're all like, oh, might come across quite good. Or potentially couples who are getting married. I love a man like that. I love a man like that. God, he does everything she wants. In fact, I do very little. It's just those two things have come up. But anyway, she said, "What would you think about getting female?" At the time, I went, But then, actually, once we did it, I would never go back with any other situation. And the reason is that the set list is twice as good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when you have a female singer, they tend to want to sing a certain type of songs.
Okay.
And when you have a male singer, they tend to want to sing a certain type of songs. And also their ranges and their vocal capability are different.
Definitely open doors, I think.
So
yeah.
there's nothing that you can't cover. But when you have one, like one sex or the other, it does limit it a bit.
And different singers, even female vocalists, they probably tend towards certain songs. So again,
That's right.
in general,
they have style. Like they both have styles that they kind of prefer. You know.
Yeah.
So with the two singers, best thing ever.
Yeah. And I must say that when it comes to variety of different songs, I have heard you play like so many different types of actual like music. Like we did. Do you remember the wedding we did at Ashley and Keelan? You probably won't forget because her father literally like did up the banqueting room.
Oh yeah,
it was an event. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that was a Disney themed wedding.
Yeah.
And
her father worked in sound and lighting.
That's it. Yeah. But it was a Disney first dance, wasn't it? I'm remembering this right.
It was a Disney first dance.
Yeah.
And
you wouldn't hear that often now.
No, and Disney songs, and I know that's become popular in the last few years. And Disney songs, from someone who has went to music college, all that jazz. Disney songs wouldn't be my kind of music, but they're hard.
Yes.
They've got a lot of chords in them.
Yeah.
They change key a lot. So I remember, so sometimes when you get those kind of songs, they're tough first dances.
But I think it made because you had the male and female for it. It did actually add to that because I just remember it stands out in my mind because I don't hear Disney songs very often. I certainly don't hear them as a first dance. And then I suppose the decor that was gone on the day as well, that wedding is not going to leave my mind anytime soon kind of thing. Yeah, no, it was brilliant in fairness. But because you do a lot of, so the obvious one is the evening band. Yeah. You do a lot of you covered the entire day from Sunday to DJ.
Actually, this doesn't crop up much, but I actually was the first person to do that. So what happened was I first started doing drinks receptions.
Yes.
Because I had my music degree was jazz, so I kind of when I was younger I was more all about the jazz, and the loud shirts. And I played double bass.
Oh, so I did not know that.
Yeah, that was a kind of nice look, like double bass and piano.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of at these places and I was kind of thinking, well, if I'm going to be coming here, why don't I start a band? So then I started the band. And then the technology was kind of changing. I'm going way back to times of, I think it was called something like Napster or something, where you could download music off the internet.
You could actually get MP3s.
Oh, I'm too young to remember that.
Yeah, so you're way too young. You're way, she's way too young, but he'd remember. Yeah, she was only.
The 6 months between us is
like 22. Still feeling like 22. Okay, so now everybody has access to all music.
Yeah,
and if
access
I want
to
a
all
random
music,
song.
and then also that, the idea of virtual DJing was coming in as well.
Okay.
So the software was changing. So what was happening was DJs were beginning to come in with the big set of decks and loads of records and sneak the laptop to the
class
behind the thing, and they'd be just using the laptop. But so there was about 3 years of that, whereas I was the guy who went, I'm going to DJ with a laptop, and for about a year, I'd not so much weddings, but maybe the odd other gig that wasn't a wedding. I'd have a few lads looking at me like they were going to beat me up because they felt like they were being done here.
Totally calm down.
And I was like, no, it's the same thing.
I have access to all the music in the world. It doesn't matter. It still works. It still gives that vibe.
And then, as I say, notice the DJs. And then the decks went.
Yeah.
And then they just had the same thing as I had. But yes, so then
trendsetter there now, Darren.
Yeah, so basically, there was no such thing as the all-day package.
Yes.
And Black Tie introduced it.
Brilliant.
And then I'd say about a year later,
it
I'm not saying that everybody copied me.
Oh no,
you know what I mean? But I couldn't bring a lawsuit against other people. But I do kind of feel like it is definitely something that I brought to the industry that I never got any credit for. And I'm getting it now.
Yeah. That's my one.
And then I see other bands and they're like, they just nicked my idea. But anyway, it's fine. It's not like Actually, at the end of awards, they made you make a little speech. And I had a few drinks in me, and I think that might have came up as well. But
came up or made it up?
Harsh, Laura, harsh.
Also, it's a hard thing to prove. Yeah, how would I prove?
We need proof. We need some sort of documentation in it.
Could I get a screenshot of someone's laptop?
Yeah.
Like,
I believe you. I do. Yeah. I do.
But specifically, so one of the times I remember yourself before I remember the band type thing in terms of because you were playing the piano, and I suppose you can talk a bit about the music and your musical background because we're kind of giving the hints and tips to all sorts, whether you're starting out a band or whether you're in music or whatever. Okay. But like I remember you playing the piano and it was kind of like it was a quiet reception. There wasn't too much going on, but then all of a sudden like it was like. The kids' ears perked up and it was like, oh, what's that? They know that. And it was like the Jungle Book or something. So you just threw out a few tunes. You spotted that there was loads of kids. You were like, come on, we got to get the crowd on side in some way.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, being able to kind of play and respond to different crowds, isn't it? But you can actually play the piano and you're musical, aren't you?
Yeah. So, I play a few instruments, So I play the piano and the guitar and the bass. Yeah.
The bass, brilliant. And you actually went to college and kind of did the whole training and whole shebang with that.
Yeah. A lot of the guys in the bands now have, you'd find they'd been to some kind of college or another. Yeah. And the music education has opened up in Ireland the last like 10 or 15 years as well. Back in the day, it was very, you either did classical or you did nothing. Okay. Or you did trad. Whereas now there's more like colleges that do popular music and there's colleges that do jazz degrees. It's kind of diversified.
Yeah. So people can come out a bit more well-rounded and familiar with all different types of music as well. Yeah. And in the ceremony and in the reception, you would play the keys a lot, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Or the guitar.
That's true.
Maybe sometimes I look at their list and depending on the songs they've chosen, I pick like piano or guitar.
That's really good. Yeah. And do you find a lot of people will go for, because we've spent loads of days with you where it's been like all day long.
I don't know the percentages. I suppose they change. Some months you might get lots of ones that you're playing during the day as well, and then sometimes a bit less. I suppose whatever the internet spits out at you.
That's it.
Even on a geographical level as well, each year is different. Like I remember one year we were constantly in Mayo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, now that I'm down in Cork, I love Cork. What was I going to say? Every year we're often in Cork because there's one website. The guy told me himself that his SEO is strong in Cork.
Yes.
Okay.
So we always have a healthy amount of Cork.
Because we've seen you everywhere. We've seen you everywhere from Waterford Castle to Blair's Cove down in West Cork to Ballyroe and Tralee to there's been we bump into you everywhere.
You're pretty much nationwide, are you?
We love Ireland. So like if I'm up in North Donegal or West Cork so we go everywhere.
And your reputation probably pulls you everywhere all over Ireland, rather than, like you say, SEO. People tend to be strong in certain areas, but like that, your reputation probably stands out that people recommend you. Or I saw them at such a wedding I was at, and then you end up being in Galway the next week or whatever.
Like the word of mouth thing is strange, isn't it? Because on my form now, I do have a where did you hear about us? And you can tick whatever one. A lot of it will be word of mouth, but a lot of the time when you get a booking, you don't know it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes
they don't tell you.
You would have more communication with the bride and groom on the day than we would.
Yeah.
But sometimes if you have a quick chat with them after, when everything's finished, they say, oh, you only find out then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you flight at my friend's wedding. Or they'd never tell you that in the emails, when they initially inquire and the back and forth, you find out then. So.
Yeah, no, I find the same. It's when we chat to them beforehand
and
they go, you're going through family details, and they're like, oh, but sure, our family did my brother's wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you've had me booked for 2 years and this is the first I've
exactly,
heard of this.
Yeah. So I find out more then than ever.
It's a compliment though, isn't it, when you go back to like the siblings' weddings?
It is.
And
I got a booking there where he said you did my mom's wedding and you did
you are ancient.
I was thinking like,
you were on the map.
And then was it a sister or brother or someone else anyway? So
she got married late. Your man already had 10 years on the clock, so like we'll give him 30 now. So that
I'd say she was a very young man. I'd say that was it.
She could have been a young man.
She was
sure. Our daughter was 12 at her wedding, so technically you could have played at her wedding.
Yeah.
And she could get married in the next 10 years. Easy. You've done my mum's wedding.
Are you free?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Can you make that work? Are you free?
I just remembered another one we did. We did another We did it like, can we call them London Irish? We did a kind of London Irish wedding where, the mom was, we did the mom's wedding and then we did the daughter's wedding in Ballyseedy like 2 years later.
Okay.
There you go.
And how do you? Because we've seen you in quite alternative wedding venues. So when it comes to like say Waterford Castle, I think it's the only place I've ever been to where when you walk in the front door, it's a lobby, and that's where the band sets up. Mostly. Now I have done in the banquet room.
I really like it.
It's really cool, isn't it? Yeah. It actually.
Now they used to have the band in the function room for years.
Have done it in the function room as well, but I actually.
But the lobby's way better.
That does, it actually encapsulates and kind of traps the crowd in a way of it creates a good atmosphere, doesn't it? That lobby and that kind of, and I suppose different rooms, like Laura says, we've probably seen you in banqueting rooms, the big kind of corporate banking rooms, and then again small rooms like that. But those rooms create a real interesting atmosphere.
Actually, if people are listening to this and.
Hopefully someone's listening.
Hopefully someone. Even if there's 5 people and 5 people,
it's worth it.
Squeeze them in. Don't spread them out.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? That is the best advice for a band, is that if you have your numbers and you have a function room they're squeezed in, that is so much better than going to this hotel with a massive function room and you've got 100 people, because for the band, it's so hard to build an atmosphere in a room that has more space and trying to get the people onto the dance floor. And then even when they are on the dance floor, it doesn't seem full. Whereas when you squeeze them in, and 7 people go onto that dance floor, everyone else will follow.
Yes.
Because the room seems like, this party's going,
It's very true, because you'll have smokers and people that are vaping and just people going for fresh air and stuff. You've got a big space like that. If you want to go outside and smoke, there's 80 left in the room that can hold 300 people.
Yeah.
That's tough work for the lads.
I didn't think of that.
I didn't think of that. There you go.
We've come back to kind of like crowd interaction and all that.
Okay.
But with this part of the conversation is called Irish towns and cafes and pizzerias. Because in Waterford Castle, I think it was, right?
This is actually
this is right up here. This is why
I'm very opinionated.
I did my research and I was like, Daryl likes his food.
Yeah.
But like in Waterford Castle, for instance, so I think Dorian sang in the ceremony.
Yeah.
And then Roy maybe sang.
Darren.
Darren.
I don't mind. I call her Dorian.
No, she should give out to you for that now. That's a completely different name. Yeah. That's right, Bernard.
No, look.
It's the same thing.
I don't care, but believe me,
she cares. Right. She's hanging.
I made that mistake. She's got a scar here on the back.
I'm really gonna go off topic now. I'm gonna did you ever call out the wrong bride and groom's names?
Be honest.
Because Laura's a devil for when the band go, what's her name? And Laura goes, Mairead. and then they kind of they go, it's not Mairead, it's Mary.
One of these days I'm going to tell them the wrong name.
Will this be on the podcast?
Oh, it depends. The complete it out if it's really bad.
Did they notice?
In fairness, I've been doing this job for 21 years. The odds.
Statistics. The odds.
I mean, I've had ones where I actually, do you know what I'm more famous for now? This is just not a cool.
I was saying to Benny, I was like, I have to talk to Dara about the way, because I loved when bands start. They really start the dancing, as in every band has their own way of doing things, and some bands are kind of plug in, get going, they start singing, and everyone's, the first dance is happening. The lads then have everyone around the dance floor, it starts, and then some lads go a whole other step further, and you'd be definitely one of those bands.
Okay.
And I love the way you get it going, because you get the atmosphere of, oh my God, I can't believe the dog is barking, sorry. You get the atmosphere of the room, they've no choice but to, if you're full of food, wake up.
Yeah.
This is happening, do you know?
Kind of warming the crowd up, because,
it.
when I talk the week of, the bride and grooms go, and what do you do now? And you don't want to tell them exactly what I'm going to do, but I just say, look, I'll warm the crowd up for
Yeah.
Sometimes the bride, when I'm calling everyone up, I think people have said to me over the years, I don't want to do a first dance. And actually coming out of lockdown, it's more common. Maybe people have gone a little bit more inward than they used to be, or self-conscious, or whatever you want to call it. And traditionally I would have said no one likes the first dance. The only people who like showboating a first dance is Americans, where they have and even they now will say, they do the drop and whatever. Even they will go, we're not mad about this post-lockdown.
Yeah.
So some people do say, can we not do it? But I can do a fake first dance.
Yeah.
So I can do one where, because I want to be able to get everyone up onto the dance floor because I hit the ground running then in the strongest possible scenario.
And it's okay, I suppose, if people are thinking that and they're kind of like, they are a bit more reserved, it's okay not to do a first dance, but it's great again that you have the experience to, we're just going to do it this way and we're going to get the crowd going and get the crowd's attention and then the party's going. Because again, we always mention it is like doing a wedding's different to other types of gigs, and if you can get the crowd going, and the crowd want permission to let loose.
Yeah.
And one of the things you do is you give them permission, or you set it up and go, if you want to have fun and just dance and enjoy yourself, you kind of tee that up, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's really what you're employed for. You know, you're probably not being employed to be like it wouldn't matter if you had like, the best bands in the world play your wedding. Like, no one's really going to sit there, be listening as such anyway. Yeah. So you're really there to kind of get some kind of fun going. That's it. And a certain responsibility goes back to the crowd as well. Yeah. We only have a certain amount of things that we can do, and they have to respond to that. To tee them up. So they have to respond to that. So, but I think as well, as you said, if it happens, bits happen at the start, people kind of think, okay, these
lads are here to entertain.
These lads are here to entertain.
Yeah, that's it, and it's a big difference.
And I do love entertaining.
You do. No, you are. And first and foremost, that's probably something like you said, like you can have the best musician in the world, but like however good a musician you are, you're probably an entertainer first and foremost. Is that fair enough?
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's other people that will be in the band. I make sure they're that kind of. Everyone knows.
I was going to say that, because it's not very like. So we know loads of bands.
Yeah.
And I know the name of the lead, like yourself, Darren. Okay. But with your band, there's not many other bands around that I could tell you multiple names within the band, because it's not just one lead character that you like. They're a big lead character and they got musicians behind them. Your band has multiple personalities where I'm like, there's Ryan. There's, there's Doreen.
Yeah.
I said, she said he's after putting it in my head now. He's after putting it in my head now. Darren. Don't say Doreen, because I'm like Darren. Yeah. But like, it's not very often that you'd know
and me as well.
Like,
of course. But like, even to a point where you're like, you'd also follow Ryan on Instagram. You'd follow Darren on Instagram. Like,
I meant to say that if people want, like, that man is constantly singing on Instagram. Like Laura goes, look what he's doing now. He's one of those lads. Like, again, he has his own personality and his own talent, and he kind of like. He is one man to follow on Instagram if you want a bit of entertainment, isn't he?
If you want entertainment,
uncut entertainment.
Yeah.
And it's always
Darren's like, don't follow him.
Panic, cut, don't. That's worse than the same-sex marriage conversation that we had 10 minutes ago. But I suppose I didn't know, but like I was scrolling through, I was snooping on the website there. He has a bit of an interesting background as well. Like he's done all sorts of talent shows and stuff. Like he's able to sing. Like he's
a great singer. He is a great singer. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely. This is going to sound awful, but I haven't heard any male singer in any other wedding band that's technically as good singer as him.
Wow, that's a great compliment.
He is the best singer out there. You know.
He's the best singer out there. Like he's award-winning.
But you know what I mean. What I mean is like, listen. I mean, down to taste, but like from a technical ability, there's no one else I see, and I kind of go technically. He is a competition kind of. Yeah. Got all the bells and whistles kind of singer. Yeah. And some people don't like that, and that's fair enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he enjoys, like lads sing at the drinks reception, right? And they might be going through their set list. He enjoys singing.
Yeah.
So when he's let loose with the microphone in the drinks reception, he is singing all the songs. He's going to song to song to song. Yeah. Whereas in the band, he's part of the team, so he's not always forward, or he's not always singing the song. But in the drinks reception, he eats up the chance to sing at the drinks reception.
Yeah, I would say any chance to get attention. Some people are born genetically, more disposed to seeking attention than others. And all I can say is that male singers are definitely the peak of the triangle. Do you know what I mean? Like, and in typical fashion, we've labelled female singers as divas, but I can tell you now that is incorrect. Females are fine. Male singers are nuts. I don't know if that will be in the out, but if you want to just throw it in for a bit of high drama.
If we weren't to call them divas, we'd have to call them dovos. Or I'm trying to think of what's the male equivalent of a diva.
I think it is just diva, is it?
It could be a diva for both sexes, yeah.
I think it could be,
But what I'm saying is, it's more assigned to female, because like, Oh,
yes,
that nightmare of a female singer.
Yeah.
Well, female singers are easier than male singers.
So what you're telling us is that Ryan is a diva. Is that what you're telling us? Is that what's been said here? Or I'm not too sure. Are we going there?
He's a diva.
He's a talented diva, though, so we'll allow it.
Is he the real reason you had to change the pants? Did he complain about the pants from China and he wanted to wear specific pants?
So funny that was it.
It's probably okay in that way. I'm trying to think. Yeah. There's countless stories.
But in any way, we forgot to go back to my segment.
You're not also
the reason why I wanted
It's a great team, though. It's a great team.
The reason I wanted to mention the wedding stuff at the start was because I had a feeling we could go anywhere. And similarly, my segment on cafes and pizzerias just got brushed up aside there a while ago. So we were talking about Waterford Castle, and the ceremony was one singer, and the reception was another singer. So the lads, look, they were there for the whole day, so they occupied themselves. But you get to see a lot of towns and see a lot of cafes in terms of like. We've talked about like Middleton, San Marino, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And
great pizzeria.
Great pizzeria. Big man.
Going?
So
we're just going to talk about pizza.
Okay,
I like it. Yeah, I'm hungry now.
So you must have great experience of going to different Irish towns and coming across great little cafes and pizzerias and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, the one in Middleton, well, Cork in general.
Yeah.
You know, we would always say in the band, Cork is very good for food.
And good
I know that's kind of known anyway. It's no big secret,
yeah.
you know. But actually, I'd like to maybe talk about Clare because I think Clare, for so many reasons, has so much to offer. You know, first of all, like it does have that kind of like you feel like you're going to the old Ireland or whatever.
Yeah, big time.
Also, the seafood is always good in Clare.
Yeah.
And no disrespect, but it's not Cork and Kerry prices.
True.
No, you're dead right. It's more. West Cork is definitely more. You get more value. You do.
We like Clare, and it's kind of like it's always a tricky one. You always come back and go, "Oh, this girl's really nice," and it's in Spanish Point, and it's just a little long. It's
we'd be in Spanish Point a lot.
Spanish Point is a great venue,
great venue,
and great for scenery, great for photographs, and you're right, great for food.
Yeah, and they to be fair, now not so much. I haven't seen, but maybe last year I got a lot of emails saying the venue are recommending you.
Oh,
and there's an example. They know us very well. And you know, I shouldn't say this, but last time I was down there, they gave me a load of points. I was staying in the B&B up the road. And anyway,
conversation back on camera.
Okay. So yeah,
I'm not even too sure where we're going to cut this up. You know.
And you can randomly, if something pops into your head about a good cafe or whatever, but you're nationwide. But life on the road of a band, again, if someone's starting out, like you spend a lot of hours. Like you mentioned to me one time, you left the house, like you're dropping off the kid to school type thing, and then you're gone and you're awake for nearly 20 hours type thing. You're nearly doing the whole 24 hours because you have to travel. You might be doing a ceremony reception and the band. Yeah. And then you have to have your fun after that.
And DJ. And apparently DJ and sax as well, I saw.
DJ and sax, it's a very popular thing now.
Yeah.
So.
The sax is buzzing, yeah.
If you can't beat them, join them.
That's it.
100%.
So like you came up with a certain idea, but then you saw people were using the sax idea, and you were like, I'm just going to rob that idea because they all rob my full.
Yeah, I think a lot of
they owe
me one, and a lot of the bands offer it now, because people want it. So, you know, if you don't offer it, you know,
bit of jazz music.
You're right, Benny. Yeah, some of the days you can be. Probably some people who work in offices probably think like, geez, I'd love to have that life, but if I'm up at 7:30, daughter goes to school like 10 to 9, then I do sometimes look at the watch and realise I'm coming in at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, the next day.
So you know, you've been awake for a long time. You go a little bit mad, but like I enjoy that. It's grand. You know.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah, so like people are paying for that hard work.
Yes.
Like in terms of like kind of again, like if people are trying to justify, will I just get a guy with a laptop playing a few tunes, or will I get a full band in? Like what you're buying is you're buying the hard work, the hard traveling across country, being gone for the whole day, type thing, moving all the equipment, having the good equipment, and then being entertained.
Yeah, having the good equipment as well. Yeah, you're paying for. Of course, there's going to be bands who don't have good equipment, but you're paying for good equipment.
Yeah.
You know, there will be a trend. There's always like chats about maybe not getting a DJ, just plugging in a phone. But you know, realistically, to rent the gear that we would have would actually cost you. We charge $300. It would cost you more than that anyway.
You
know what I mean? So, and then you've got someone who can read the crowd as well. You're paying for, well, as you said earlier, you know, it's our crowd interaction.
Yeah.
You're paying for that, you're paying for the music, and then you see you're paying 5 people.
That's right.
So you know, it does. They seem like big figures, but after you pay for the advertising and all the equipment and all those things.
That's right. Yeah. You get your bang for your buck.
You really do. Yeah, and you know, I'm in a position because I've played in the band for 21 years and I've probably DJ'd 19 of those years.
Wow. Okay.
And if someone was to say to me, again, it's an argument that crops up a lot, you know, will I just get a DJ? Like, a DJ is never going to have the same crowd interaction as a band.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of other nationalities that don't get bands for weddings.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's more, it is kind of an Irishy thing. I think America as well might get bands as well. There are a few other countries.
They do and they don't, because the American weddings we do, they're like, and there's a whole band coming
actually,
later,
yeah.
And right in saying that, and they're like,
yeah.
and what time do they start? And we're like, 9:30, 10. And they're like, sorry, is that not the time the
Yeah,
wedding ends? We're like, no, that's when it starts.
Yeah. And to be fair, Irish weddings were like that maybe 40 years ago.
That's right.
Even less.
Yeah.
So a lot of our parents' weddings, they would have went home at like 11 o'clock.
Well, they would have went on honeymoon almost.
Yeah.
You know the way you'd do the whole like honeymoon leave.
Away,
you'd leave your own party.
Some people, well, if they lived in Dublin, they'd go to the cinema after, and that would be the... But so Irish weddings have taken on a new side to them in the last whatever amount of years it is. But yes, a lot of nationalities' weddings are tamer.
Okay.
And us having the band, I think, is a throwback to the show band thing.
Yeah.
That, you know, the travelling band that will come to the dance hall. And it was a big deal for a lot of country towns, especially country towns more so than Dublin. And, you know, I think people still like that. You know, there's a big thing, like the band is there. Mm-hmm. People like to dance, especially with a certain kind of Irish generation. Yeah. And I'd hate to see that go because, as I say, I do DJ and it's just not the same.
No, yeah, and I don't think it will go. I think you kind of see that, and you kind of even see new bands starting out, and they start off like so quickly, like because people want bands or they're chasing bands. And speaking of that, like if you want the band that if lads have seen you and they really, really want you, they could have to book you 2 years out. Like it's tough to get a good band, and it's limited the amount of bands you want in a certain genre that are doing it well, isn't it? So it's tricky to get a good band. Whereas like they could probably, if someone's getting married within 6 months, 12 months, we always say throw the date out. You might get lucky. It might be random. Yeah. You can work out with yourself.
I mean, even when you have a busy calendar, like say for example last year, and it's hard to know, but like the way it's looking, this year August isn't that busy.
Okay.
You know, so like sometimes like the patterns change every year. But like for example, next year 2025, I don't have like loads of bookings in, but whatever amount I have half that amount in May already. May seemed to book up, and May normally isn't a really busy month. So it's changed. Next year it looks like May's going to be crazy busy, but May mightn't be busy for another band. I don't know.
That's it. And I think you're kind of, once you get to that 12 months out as well, like we're kind of like, you've seen the last of the March inquiries coming in now for March 2025 kind of thing. Does that make sense? As in like they have in their head, once the month hit, I'm getting married in 12 months time. I really should book my band. I really should. So I think it's very funny. I find when you're in the month, you see that month. 12
and
months
I think post-COVID, a lot of people have, you know, went back to the more traditional months. And, you know, my opinion would be, if you can get a deal in January and February, take it.
If you can still,
because one thing I've noticed over the years is the only thing for me, obviously I work in entertainment in the wedding, but the only thing for me that can ruin a wedding is a cracking good day. You know, because for me, you know, they're all outside. They're all outside. So you're like, you know, so I'm like, oh, everyone's outside drinking on the patio. They said they don't want to come in.
What you want to do is,
what can you do?
Trap them in the bar.
Exactly.
Get the same song going early.
You're the only one in Ireland that goes, Jesus, off shape's not raining today. Off a shame.
So for you, it's probably great.
There's a terrible stretch in the evening.
Oh, Jesus, it's sunny. Oh, no. But, you know, like there's that thing of like summer wedding, spring wedding, winter wedding. I mean, you know, I've been doing it for 21 years, and it's not like I show up to a February wedding and go, Jesus, not much atmosphere in here tonight. Do you know what I mean? For me, there is no difference between any month. You know, the weddings feel the same, you know?
It's the crowd. It's the crowd as well that responds, isn't it? So I mean, we probably all seen different types of crowds and stuff like that. But like, you as a band, and kind of the range of music you do and the way you bring an approach is, is kind of like, so if someone wants to rock band, like that's grand.
Yeah.
But like you're probably you're keeping everybody entertained.
I think diversity is definitely our strength. We do get a lot. We get on our booking form, why did you book us? And something that will crop up a lot is we were shocked by the amount of styles that you cover.
Yeah.
And I would be honest with people and I'd say, like, if you wanted one style all night, that's not us.
That's not the band for you.
You know,
it's like you're getting back to earlier on. You're giving permission to people to have fun, and by having that diversity, you're probably going to hit different pockets of the crowd, or people are going to I didn't think they would go there type thing. Yeah, and they are, and that's a banger. And I'm going to come back to the dance floor, and I'm going to.
Yeah, like we do Rage Against the Machine. And like we get bookings based on the strength that we do.
We wouldn't hear Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, so people will kind of go, "Oh God, I've seen that in your
on your
website."
We haven't been lucky enough because that's not in your first 4 or 5 songs. So you don't start out and go, "Right, lads, bang!" You go for it. You just go hell for leather.
I normally give people an option, so we do it towards the end of the night, and the 2 options are very different.
Okay.
So one is Rage Against the Machine. They're both medleys. One is Rage Against the Machine. No, starts with Nirvana. Rage Against the Machine into the Beastie Boys.
Savage.
And the other option I give them starts with 5 Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, and Britney Spears. So they're totally different. So I like to divide the room. So sometimes you'll have a load of lads going, Rage Against the Machine, and a load of girls going, I want 5.
So do you do it like in the moment? Do you
give them the choice?
That's gas. And again, it's all about crowd interaction. So you're starting off crowd interaction, and it's like you're not just doing that, get the room going and whatever. It's going every now and then you're checking back in with the room. Yeah,
I tend towards do that later. I don't do it maybe for the first hour because keep the flow going. But later when people have a few more points in them, you can start asking them questions, pitting them against each other.
Poor bands.
Like if you get an Irish-English wedding, you have like an Irish-English dance-off.
And then you drop the mic and say, best of luck, DJ.
Yeah. And then you're like, shit, it's me. But that's it. But the poor band standing there and you're like, right, Spice Girls or Rage Against the Machine. And the lads standing there going, this will be very different. What am I about to play?
Yeah, sometimes crowds can shock you. You'd think like, right, these are a Spice Girls crowd. And they'll actually be, so you can't go on looks,
Yeah. What's the most unusual first dance you've done that comes to mind?
Okay. So it was an American wedding. I think they're from New York. So they're kind of trendy, hipstery, even before maybe hipsters existed. But it was a Pixies song, and it was mostly just random whistling.
Okay.
So kind of. Now, stupidly, you said, yeah, we'll do that. But I've learned now that there's certain songs. I've learned there's certain songs you can't reproduce. It just doesn't come across well when you do your own version of it.
I feel like I need to go and find this song now.
But you're probably willing to give anything a go. But
after that, I kind of said
your experience is kind of like probably the original is better a whistler than me.
Yeah, what I learned was if there's something quirky in the song that kind of makes the song in the recording that sounds well in a recorded setting, just play the original. Because you won't reproduce that effect the same. And if that's what makes the song, and they probably like it for that reason, maybe even on a subliminal level, you mightn't reproduce that well, and then it would just sound like, was that lad randomly whistling there? It was a very weird song. It was a very weird song, and I even like free jazz, where people just like play random stuff. So I can hack weird. Weird is actually where I'm very comfortable. But this just didn't. It didn't work. Yeah.
And in say the ceremony, so you're probably doing a lot of civil ceremonies in hotels. Is that kind of primarily kind of your pocket when people do ask you, will you come in and play X, Y, or Z? It's like you're in the hotel for the day, say, and they're like, it works out that if we get you for the whole day. Yeah,
some people like the ease of being I'm the one point of contact for music for the whole day, and then some people want, and we encourage people to look around. Yeah. So some people would ask me, they'd say, look, I definitely want to book the band and DJ, but can I have a think about the other bits? And I'm like, I encourage you to. And take your time as well, because if we're doing your wedding in the evening, we're not going to be doing anything else that day. So they can book last minute pretty much, up to like 2 weeks before. So.
That makes
Sometimes,
sense.
another one that will crop up the odd time, maybe a couple of times a year, will be a mate is going to DJ, and then he pulls out couple of weeks before. Again, I would say if he pulls out, grand.
Yeah, you wouldn't have taken a second gig somewhere you're not going to roll off.
Yeah, it doesn't make much odds to me. All the equipment comes into one case.
Okay, yeah. And do you ever have to do the church weddings, or is it usually civil?
I used to do the church weddings, and when the civil ceremonies came in, I realised I could be in the one place for the day. Yeah. I haven't been to a church since.
Okay.
I'd say the priests love you, Dara. I'd say that you got on really well with them.
Yeah. Do you want the melody?
Father, Spice Girls are.
And if you were to give people advice on ceremony music in terms of like, when some people go, listen, I want the whole 5-minute song, like sometimes it's like, just a taste of the song is enough in a ceremony to let you transition. And then is there any kind of like, again, entrances, exits that you can kind of help people out?
Yeah, good point on that one, good point. Okay, so there's a couple of things going on there actually that's worth mentioning. Is that realistically, all you need is 3 songs.
Okay.
But the celebrants have these documents and they're putting in music everywhere.
Okay.
But then on the day, they're saying don't play them.
Yep.
So, hi celebrants.
It's okay, this is becoming a running theme on these podcasts. This is coming up a lot, don't worry. Yeah, it's coming. It's
okay, so
you're not the only
I would say 3 songs.
Okay.
And then all the other bits that you need. Unless you're having something like some people want, say, the hand fastening, want the music through the whole thing.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe you'd fit a song. But if you were to put a song there, I would feel it's kind of intruding a little bit.
Yes.
Because the celebrant is still talking. So the 3 places where you get to do a full song is your entrance, signing the register, and leaving.
Okay.
Things like candles,
elements, just general.
Elements, you know, sand pouring, broom jumping.
We did a broom jumping together there, that was funny.
It's amazing how the trends come, isn't it? The broom, get the broom out, we're going for a jump. Isn't it, guys?
Do you remember that day though they did the hand fastening, right? Was this one?
I think that was
so they did the hand fastening. Did you notice in the back of the room, right? And then they had a broom jump. She didn't unfasten their hands before they did their, so they did the broom jump.
In a wedding dress, broom jump.
In a wedding dress.
Impressive.
But she did it.
Yeah.
And then someone was pouring sand. Well, it was sand pour. Can you...
but if someone wanted like a bit of instrumental for the sand pouring or whatever, like Enter the Sandman.
Yeah, and you know, I don't mind saying this either on the podcast. Like, I actually tell my bride and grooms not to pick a song.
Okay.
Because I actually I'm not saying I just make something up there and then, but I noodle because I think this is important actually to say. Is if someone starts listening to something, like their ear hears it and they start paying attention to it, you know? Like the idea of lift music and background music is that, you know, it's there, but it's not there.
Yeah, it's to numb the brain rather than get the brain to pay attention. Yeah. It's going to just distract it. And again, like you said, if the celebrant or a poem's being read over it, that facilitates that rather than that not
Exactly. So I say to them, look, I'll just kind of noodle. I tell them, look, I'll play some elevator music effectively. Nice. And it works great because some celebrants can be doing it for a few seconds, some can go on, and it means no matter when they finish, you can wrap that up, and it's not like you've cut a melody halfway through. It's
mid-chorus or something. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And then the exit, we've seen some funny one. Another one bites the dust and that, and again, it's like it was like a nice touch.
Was it you? No, did you say it to me? But I know a friend of mine actually did it. Was it the Star Wars music for an entrance?
So someone wanted it for bridesmaids, but I think somebody bottled it. They were like, he was like, the only thing he wants is the march.
It was Aoife O'Neill was telling us about it. She meant to do a podcast.
Oh, that's right.
She does ceremony and reception music kind of thing. And she said one of her brides actually, it was the groom. It was all he wanted was to have the actual song. But they pulled it though. They didn't do it in the end.
My friend did it.
Did they do it?
Yeah. What's the name of the song again?
The Imperial March.
Yeah, the Imperial March. Did it, Conan? Yeah. My friend did it.
That's nice.
But they're divorced now.
It makes sense. Do you do divorces? Because I know you like a good funeral, but like, do you do divorces?
I don't do. I don't think I've done a divorce. I've did a good few like second marriages, but I don't think I've done a divorce party. No.
Is there such thing as a divorce party? Is this a thing?
Depends. I'd say you'd want to be loaded because obviously the cost of getting divorced, and you can also afford a party on top of that. Right. You know, that's real kind of.
And who would you invite? Do you both go? Like,
well, you split the room. This is how you find out, right, lads?
People say, on the mic we're still friends. Then you both go. You know, if you're genuinely still friends, You can both go to the divorce party, yeah.
But you didn't lick your character off the ground. I mean, your dad was a good lad. You told a good few stories about him. Like, but in general, like, was there music in the family? Was there noble cause, or were you just the outlier?
There was a bit of music in the family. Yeah, a bit of music in the family. Not my direct family, but I found out that like for example, a couple of my cousins now on one side of my family do gig as well.
Okay.
And I wasn't actually aware of that for years. And then on the other side of the family, yes, there was music. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't really believe in that. As in, I think...
You think anybody can pick up something?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. For me, music's a bit like any sport or any...
Sure.
If you put the work in, you know. Some people are more musical than others.
Yeah.
And I used to run a music school.
Okay.
So, like, I've taught loads of kids music. And, like, I do say if someone can't clap roughly in time...
Yeah.
Then it can be tricky.
Is it
be a no hope chair.
No, that's
it can't go like, one,
what is
2, 3, 4.
How about clicking fingers? Is that a good sign, Laura?
I can't click my fingers.
I can't click my fingers either.
Get out of town.
No.
You can't.
You're the only one I've met as well.
And in fact, I'm really screwed now because at the awards, other people saying, "Oh, that's your man, he's fairly drunk." I actually wrecked my thumb somehow. So there's no way, it's still kind of sore. That was a month ago.
No, I can't click my fingers.
I can't click my fingers.
But you can whistle great though.
I can whistle great.
She's a good whistler, yeah.
But do you often get people to come up on stage, you know, to wrote it? Yeah, they come up and give a song. Sometimes. And would many wedding suppliers do it?
Not necessarily give a song.
I can't believe we forgot about that.
Over the years, it's happened like someone gets up and you're like, Jesus, you're actually really good. Or else,
give us the guitar.
Do you want a job? Or sometimes, you know, they're really bad. I love, personally, I love when a guest singer is really bad. Because I find there's nothing more boring. It's like karaoke. If someone gets up and does karaoke and they're good, it's like, When someone gets up and they're bad, and they still do it anyway,
they own it.
That's entertainment. And they own it, exactly. And nearly if they know they're bad, but it's like, as you say, they own it.
They own it, and they deliver it and do it. Yeah, but have you ever stole someone's phone and like refused to give it back until they got up singing? Is the memory that bad?
I probably have done it. I've done all various.
Poor old Laura, you're an awful one for
Cora,
Laura.
Oh yeah, no, I do like to embarrass people. Yeah, I do. I think basically at Irish weddings, I think Irish people in general, we like slagging people. We know that, and we like embarrassing people. And in our band, we've always done that, and I think people like it. Like there's been some nights. Some nights where others in the band going, "You're going too far." I'm like, I don't know, man. People enjoy it.
But you know that you've set a trend now that so people saw what you did to me, making me sing on stage.
I can't even remember. Like a lot of bad things.
That's just every night. It just happened to be Laura that got cornered.
There's a whole video of this. And but this was seen online.
Oh, I got you up to sing. Yeah.
Do you remember? Yeah. So now the problem is that people think Laura will come up
and Laura was in the camp of a bad singer.
Yes.
Oh, I can't sing at all. And this is what I'm trying to get across to people. Please stop giving me the mic at somebody's wedding because it's woeful.
She struggles with the tone and then also the words.
I don't know the words.
Any of them. I don't know why.
But because you did that, I keep getting harassed by other bands. It's become a thing. Oh yeah, so thank you for
take that as a compliment that other bands look at our social media.
I mean, they're copying your packages, they're copying your tricks to get people entertained.
More trend setting.
I think we knew the two of you were good cracks, so there's some photographers where you wouldn't go near them. You know what I mean? Some of them you're there's a couple of guys and they're just out of the Soviet army, and you know what I mean. This guy, I might end up cut up. It's obviously this bit doesn't go onto the podcast. I'm then cut up in the back of the van.
Are they there on the corner going to you? It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. Start. I'm going home. My contract
that
says,
actually is another joke I do.
We don't have that in our contract. But my contract says.
We don't do that either, I don't think many bands do it now, but over the years, I think it's like any business. When things are really in demand, people start putting in all these stipulations and becoming less human or whatever you want to call it. But yes, there has been bands over the years that have a cut-off time. And I go, there's two things actually. I'll talk about this because this is a topic that comes up all the time.
And it'd be helpful.
How long did the band play for, right?
Yes, true.
My own band, now other bands might give direct answers to this question. But it's a very difficult question to give a direct answer to.
That's right.
Because there's so many moving parts in a wedding that the couple might know it, but they don't know when they're going to be ready.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, Uncle Jimmy's talking to Uncle Paul in the bar for way longer than he should be.
Yeah.
You know, resolving a family dispute or whatever. But he doesn't go into the room. The crowd don't move from one room quick enough to the other.
Oh yeah, no, 100 things can happen.
So many variables that can delay things. So what I would say is...
But it's speeches, it's the room changeover, it's the old school one of emptying the room, not emptying the room, the whole crowd and that. But all those things, and then you have to get access to the room.
We have to get access to the room. Yeah. The room has to be ready. In fairness, most hotels are banging the money in.
That's right.
You know, when they're clearing, we're setting up.
They don't want the place to go dead. They realise they're a service, so they want the good reputation of, we do a quick changeover and there's good atmosphere and the party's started. Party's good.
Yeah, I mean, I do get asked that the odd time. Like, there's very few venues where you could blame it on the venue that things ran late. It is the amount of things that they've added into the day. So, I've got a very long answer to the question. So I get answered the question a lot. So I have a long answer, and it's basically, you know, look, there's a lot of variables, but we show up at 8 o'clock. And if you're ready at 8 o'clock, we'll set up at 8 o'clock. Right. Now, it wouldn't happen very much that they're ready at 8 o'clock. But a lot of them think they will be ready at 8 o'clock because they've done a plan out. And unfortunately, a lot of other suppliers don't seem to tell them the truth. They kind of just tell them what they want to hear.
That's right.
Whereas I kind of go, no, look, this is the reality of it. So we'll be there at 8, and if they're ready at 8, but it tends to be somewhere between 9 and 10 that they're ready.
That's average.
That's right.
So we take 35 minutes to set up. Some venues we can set up while something's going on. Some of them we have to wait more than we have to wait.
To get access.
We usually tend to be paying where the head table is. Glad we covered that topic.
But then would you? So one thing is like, would you play right through the food, or do you break, or is
I'm
there
breaking the food.
Like?
I'm breaking the food. Because I found like even if a third of the people eat the food, it's still a fighting battle. So just
let them have it. Like
let them have it. And you know they've paid a lot of money for it.
You know, that's it. And it all works out. Like I mean, people, you obviously need to have a plan, but you can't stress about. Like people are always like, and they're trying to be polite to us because they know we've been there all day, and they'll say to us, "Oh, and the band, like you won't be late now, guys. The band is starting at 8:30." And I don't get into it. I go, it'll be great if they do, but don't worry about it. Whatever time they start, they start.
Exactly.
That's my answer.
Exactly. So that's kind of my answer. When I get the timetable, I say, look, I say timetables are rarely achieved. If it is achieved, that's great.
That's it.
But if not, it doesn't matter to me because I'm there till 2 a.m. anyway. So, you know, there has been weddings over the years like where, you know, the band, like the latest I can think is the band didn't get on till 12. You know,
we've been at those weddings.
It can happen. So, but and people will kind of think they're offending us, but it's like, no, look. It is what it is. We just roll with it, whatever it is.
And you got to enjoy the day either way. But Dara, thanks very much for driving all the way down from wherever you live. It's either Dublin or Meath, I'm not too sure. It's one of those 3 counties. Because I know you're getting on a plane tomorrow to go off and sun yourself for 10 days, isn't it?
Yeah, but looking at the weather, I'm kind of disappointed. I feel like Spain let me down. The weather hasn't been great.
Guaranteed. It's up and down. I think we saw something, where it was hot for a week, but then it's come back down. So.
Because we're heading off on Thursday.
Oh, were you?
Although this is going to be completely irrelevant by the time this podcast comes out, but we'll be there and gotten back before it actually airs. But we're going to Valencia there now for a few days.
Oh, Valencia in Spain as well,
Spain as well,
the city.
Yeah, the city.
Lovely. I've never been. I've been close because I used to have a place on the Costa Blanca. With Valencia's kind of up above. I never made it up that far, but I made close to it.
Okay.
But I believe it's lovely.
Yeah. We're all just a bit fancy with ourselves, us wedding suppliers nowadays.
We worked in the summer.
Another. You're very good.
This would be a sign off. It was an absolute pleasure for coming, and if I just may say, like out of all the photographers I work with, working with you is always the most enjoyable.
Listen, we're
and if you book them for your wedding, Jen, hand on heart here, they really are great at their job.
Good crack.
Yeah, we do like seeing you.
She'll even sing it.
I have the crack. I'll even do some slow motion videos with Ryan and stuff, but we'll get into that another. We'll do a fun. Next time you come, bring Ryan with you.
Jeepers! Don't know whether we can let Ryan loose on this.
I don't know if we can survive the van journey down.
But thanks, Dara.
Cheers, Dara.
No problem.